Going to make a video on a game I played over the weekend, the North American Team Championship. I was playing in the second round against David. My opponent is rated well below me, but he still played extremely well. Let's go through the game here. The Petrov defense. I haven't played this in an over-the-board tournament game before. I've seen it in Blitz a couple times. I didn't play it quite as well as I'd like. The time control was 60 minutes, 5-second delay. The queen move was forced. I thought he was going to trade queens and be just an easy position. Here I couldn't decide about trading queens or playing the bishop. Bishop up to here. For some reason I thought this knight here would be too annoying, but in hindsight I think it's just fine. And that would be a good way to try to keep this game more exciting with the queens on the board. It was a little dull at first.
Check.
And you can see we're both just going to castle. The thing that does change this game is David begins to alter the pawn structure like this. This pawn is backwards now. Can be a little weak. I'm not doing anything to it now, but I might be able in the future. I want to keep this knight out of this square here, so I'm going to do that. And it also gives me a little bit more chances maybe to later play this. And again, he's changing the pawn structure again. I don't really know what his plan was with this. I still don't even know now. Put a little pressure on this backwards pawn. And it moves forward. And I don't know about that. I think maybe bringing the rook over. I don't really think I was. Yeah, maybe I could play here, but I don't think there was really much of a need to push it forward. I'm just developing my pieces here. I probably should have considered putting this rook over here. And I was hoping I could put this bishop maybe here and then here by pushing this pawn, and then I can play this knight here. So something like this. But he didn't go that way. He went this way. And I've really been wanting to play this d5. And I couldn't take it anymore. I felt like I had to get it in because I didn't want him to play d5. I didn't like the way that would look covering these squares really well, and I can't really get that pawn out of there without destroying my pawn structure by pushing this pawn. So I just went for it. I couldn't calculate it. I couldn't evaluate it. I figured if he took, my knight would just come this direction and attack it from this way. When he played this move, I began to second guess myself, thinking maybe I'd made a mistake by pushing d5. But I don't think this is altogether bad. I probably should have just put my knight here, and then I wouldn't have to worry about this doubling of the pawns. But I didn't think the doubling of the pawns was all that bad, so I didn't do that. And again, I don't believe that the doubling of my pawns is a weakness here. I can get a rook, which you'll see in a little bit. I did get a rook on this square, although it was the wrong rook. I put the wrong rook there. I should have played the other rook over like this. Doesn't matter if he takes this pawn because I get a really active rook. And I like this move. I had a hard time here deciding what piece to put on this b4 square. I thought maybe I should put the rook there, but the bishop pin felt really nice with this knight coming this direction. I like the way I played it. I don't want to trade bishops. I want to keep my bishop. And I think this was just a mistake. And I had several options here I wanted to choose from. I was looking at pushing this way and then playing the knight. No, not the knight there. That doesn't work. Playing the knight this way with this pin. And I also have the option of taking here, and then playing the knight. I couldn't work it out, so I just had to go with my instinct and go with what I thought was best. I was pleased to see this. I do get a bit of an advantage here. I can't hold this pawn once I capture, but I feel like I have a really nice position here. Now, I misplayed this here a little bit. In hindsight, I should have just taken this pawn when I had the chance. And let's see what the computer says here. Yeah, I should just take. Yeah, and I have a pretty decent advantage. I'm not winning, but I have a pretty good position. But I misplayed it, and luckily, my theory is that if he takes, and I take, he takes, I get my rook is a bit more active on this file. I thought I would be okay there, but in hindsight, I don't think that was very good. What's the computer say? Yeah, the computer says I lost my advantage, giving white a clear advantage with rook. Rook. Yeah, it's just a mistake. I didn't play that very well, and I knew it right after I played it that it was a mistake. But he didn't capitalize on it. And I still don't believe I can hold this pawn. I'm just, I like my knight here. I'm fine with that. I can, and I probably had the option of putting my bishop here and eliminating this, because if he takes, I have this knight attack over here. And I figured getting the rooks off was just work to my advantage. And here I'm eyeballing a tactic which I see coming up, and see, now I have the tactic here on this back rank. And I was kind of eyeballing that, hoping that he would go into this. And see, this is just pinned, winning a piece here. I did misplay it a little bit. I believe the computer says I should take with the knight, and I didn't even really stop to look at that. I just took with my bishop, which I'm still winning, but taking with the knight was better. And I believe the reason for that is there's some play. What's it thinking? H3. Oh yeah, check. Discovered check is what it's looking at there. I think it was also check. If he did this here, when I come back, it's a discovered check on the knight, like that there. Because I had a feeling he was going to do this check anyway. This surprised me. I didn't see this. It kind of gives me some troubles. I played it okay. Check. And when we went into this, I seen what he was going to do. I knew he was going to play this move. It's kind of pointless. It ain't really going to accomplish much. I was getting pretty low on time. Only had a few minutes, so I was trying to find good moves, get my bishop out. I probably had a couple of other options I could have done. Maybe checked here, and you know, because he can't take this because I have this fork here. But I didn't see that. I was very low on time, minutes. Check. And I was hoping for this. I'm just going to win because of this check. Check. And I'm winning. We went on a few more moves, and I ended up winning a short time later. I kind of misplayed a little bit, short on time. I had even contemplated just trading all the pieces, the pawns off, and going into a knight and bishop ending just for the fun of it, but I didn't want to risk it, and it's a completely winning position. And that's my game.